Hello, my name is Tiera Lee, and I am a senior graduating Towson student whose major is mass communications. This semester, I am in a multimedia capstone class, where I'm focusing on the relation between three different projects that some of my classmates are doing. So in this video, I will be highlighting some of the solutions, the problems of online learning, including cheating and possibly not being able to learn or retain information, and how memorization can be harmful to students in the long run versus critical assessments or understanding. So I'll be highlighting through three different projects what they found for solutions for these problems, and also how online learning has changed and how it is being affected, especially in this new season of a pandemic, COVID-19.
My name is Zaria, and our project is on cheating with technology and how professors can make assignments more geared towards critical thinking instead of like memorization.
My name is Owen Dodonna, and we are doing a project. We were focusing on online classrooms before the pandemic, and we were looking at personal technology and how students can use that to cheat. So like accessing paper mills from social media, looking up information on smartwatches and things like that. And then since the pandemic, we've shifted more towards online classes and like cheating on exams, and if students are more likely to cheat and why they cheat and what some solutions are.
My name is Emma Stark, and my capstone project is whether websites such as Chegg and Quizlet are beneficial to students or hurt the students and whether or not like memorization versus critical thinking, kind of comparing those two.
We kind of blended that with looking more onto like social media. People can ask other people to take tests or quizzes for them, or they can ask people to write their papers, or there are like companies who have websites and their only purpose is to give you a paper to turn in.
We first addressed like how students are cheating in class. So like people are using their AirPods now and like their phones and Apple Watches.
The problem that we tried to address was whether or not it was considered cheating using those kind of websites, and if what teachers' opinions on was it versus students' opinions on it, and if teachers ever planned to change the way they taught or renew their material instead of recycling the teaching material every semester to try and combat situations like that.
For solutions for cheating in general, I talked to this guy, Dr. Thomas Tobin. He works for University of Wisconsin-Madison, and he's an online learning coordinator. And so he said establishing trust is the number one key to avoid cheating.
Then we addressed what we can do, what teachers can do in the future, and so that teachers are meeting their students like at their level. Because like when students go home, like they're on their phone and they're using those resources, so it should be they should be able to use those resources and find answers online.
Teachers that we interviewed had stated that they either don't recycle material, they'll make sure that each test and everything is different each semester so that they can't have their questions, found online. Some teachers had no idea these things existed. Others were kind of in between. They didn't really have an opinion.
Interviewing like a bunch of professors, and they were able to sort of acknowledge that there sort of is like this disparity between, like technology disparity between teachers and students. Like they're not fully aware of all the possibilities that technology gives students right now. So I thought that was interesting. We interviewed one student who's an education student, and she's talking about project-based learning, which is basically practicing critical thinking, and students are given projects where they can explain the material rather than just memorizing it.
We interviewed a couple education majors, and I think they were more on the I think it's a problem because they grew up with it and they see it more as a student where it's prevalent. The internet has become such a big part in students' lives, especially now in the whole quarantine situation. A lot of students are using sites like Chegg and Quizlet to help get tutoring and help get answers when they don't have access to the teachers as the same way.
This project is really important, especially now because we are in a pandemic. We definitely need to have kind of like a dialogue and conversation about how online learning is changing, how cheating is changing, and how we can promote that we still learn, and that really important message and dialogue that we kind of need to start, especially now, to prepare for the future. We weren't prepared coming into COVID-19. We've never had anything like this, especially on this big of a scale. So it's definitely really important that we have this dialogue first and that we're able to prepare for the future. This is the time to worry about what we're going to do next and what our next steps are. So I hope that this video shed light on what we can do next and the solutions and the problems that we're facing with online learning.